Okay, so for our next segment, and I'm going to stop with the AMG spoilers for just a second, and we're going to take a breath because we have some exciting news, and this is something Charles actually came up with, and I feel really bad because he's not here, but I'm not going to wait till he comes back to announce it. So this week, Charles sent me this information that they are officially making Luke Skywalker an Imperial pilot. So I'm going to say that again. They're going to make Luke Skywalker an Imperial pilot, right? That's crazy. Right? Now you're just going back and you're like erasing everything. Well, you're just like, what are you guys doing? What are you doing, Disney? What the fuck? You know? Like, I don't know. Sorry, I don't mean to.
It's called multiverse, sir. It's a colorful multiverse where we all exist on multiple timelines. Stop poo-pooing the fun and just fly the ship, sir.
That's Marvel, damn it. Anyway, so now, what's happening is the Lego Star Wars franchise, which I don't know if that's considered canon or not, right? I don't know. But essentially, the Lego Star Wars franchise is going to take Jedi Knight Skywalker and turn him into a soldier for Palpatine and the Galactic Empire. And they have a trailer coming in October 1st called Terrifying Tales. And I like the Lego Star Wars movies. I think they're cute. But
they are.
It is what it is. Anyway, so we're gonna get
it's fun, guys. It's just play.
Luke Skywalker to fight for the Empire. Now, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not gonna go through this whole article. What they're basically saying is this is like a monkey's paw scenario, right? And Luke goes back and essentially becomes part of the dark side, right? So Charles said, "Hey, what would your pilot design be? What would your pilot design be? Think about it. If you could take Luke and put him in Empire, which now we know it's a wannabe feasible thing, what would your pilot and ship be? Right? And so what we did is we took a poll amongst just us, and you guys can be thinking about it. And if you want to post them in the chat, we are going to commission. Yeah. I am already in talks with somebody to commission a alt art card for the different pilot and abilities. I already have that on the table.
Awesome.
It's going to be something that we're going to be able to start giving away to people who watch our stream. We are a newer stream, so my revenue cap is not the same as GSP's.
Very small.
I have somebody that I have somebody that's volunteered to do the artwork, help me put it together so it looks professional and doesn't take away from anything the three of us do already for the show, and will allow us to continue doing everything we do, but they're going to help design these cards. The difference is we are going to kind of talk about what do we think Luke will do. So I'm going to give Matt first privilege of the conversation. Matt, what if you put Luke inside of a Empire ship? A, what would the ship be? And B, what would his pilot ability be?
Yeah. So I've been very blessed that I had a little bit of time to think this one out. And Psych J, you're a jerk because you just grabbed it. But anyways, TIE Advanced X1 is what I came up with.
All right.
For two reasons, actually. One, I think it's a great platform, and I think it is probably the closest thing to an X-Wing that the Empire really has, which is a heavy fighter. And it's a kind of like a pseudo-heavy fighter, but still it's a heavy fighter. To me, I think one, and again, just like nailed it, is exactly what I'm thinking too, is think about running a pair of aces, Vader, Luke. I'm just saying. Pair of aces, Vader, Luke, both in X1s. The thought of it is making my X-Wing joy expand in my heart. So to me, that would be super fun.
How many force?
It have to be 2. Yep, it's going to be 2. Well, now we always say that the dark side is stronger, right? So, but it isn't.
4.
Obviously separate but equal. But I don't know. Not 4. Not 4.
Hold on. Let's talk through this just for a second, because you got me going. Think about it.
2 or 3, buddy.
Okay, but hold on. Vader has 3 force, right? In the X1. Luke, this is Luke going back. What if Luke retained all of his light side knowledge and went back in time and then was more powerful than his father. Just saying. Would you have to give him 4 Force then?
I mean, I don't know. I think that it would be a horrible precedent. So, I mean, I see it 2. Yeah, just mastery at 3, right? So there's nobody that has more than 3 anyway. So, I mean, yeah, just 2 or 3. I would assume it's. I mean, it depends. I could see a story for each one. And okay, and now my ability. I thought about this, and I think this is the best one for Luke. Like kind of fitting in the whole Luke thing. Is I think that he should get free evade. Basically, he may use 1 force to change any die to an evade. Right, so he basically gets the the blank to evade, the focus to evade, whatever it is. You're looking at probably one of the most defensible ships with 3 defense die in the game, just with that. Because if he grabs a focus, he gets his force. You're probably looking at least 2 evades each time, which I think is very synergistic with his gets a force back every time he's attacked on the light side. You know what I mean? So if he is a rebel, so that's my card. You guys' mileage may vary, but I think that would be the one I would want.
All right. So Charles,
I got to hear it, Chris. What do you want? Oh, Charles.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
We're gonna do Charles first. Charles is easy. Charles thinks he should be in an interceptor. He says that he would put him in an interceptor, and he believes that he would give him essentially when you get shot or when you shoot, you get to regain force, right? So when you would make an attack that would hit, you would get to get your force back. So it encourages you to spend your force on attack and take evade tokens, just like you said, and get free force back.
Yeah, that's good too.
I would almost caveat that by saying doing the same thing with Vader and saying then you can't use your force on defense, but all of these are just going to be broken. It doesn't matter what we do. Now,
I didn't say you're talking about points anyway. So
yeah, this is going to be 150 point Luke.
Yeah, I will say too. Catherine here is saying in chat a TIE fighter because anything else sounds like cancer. Presumably, what the scenario would be like letting him in the academy. They're just your basic TIE, exactly, because everything else is just going to be crazy. Yeah, no, I agree. I would love to see it just because I'd love to see the 2 ship build. But you're right. He's got to be a bunch of points, especially some of these. And a TIE intercept with the force. Oh.
So mine is also a TIE interceptor. And I believe he should have 3 force. No questions asked. Now, here's where I believe his ability should be different than kind of what he does. And I believe he should have a dual ability. You get to pick one or the other. Not both, one or the other. I believe that for the first ability, you could spend 1 force at the beginning of the system phase and you may perform 1 action. If you do, the remaining force can only be spent on attack. So if you pre-position yourself with your force, the rest of the force on the attack cannot be spent on defense. It can only be spent on offense. Here's the second ability. This one's going to drive everybody nuts. Everybody's going to hate this. But if we don't have bids, you don't have to worry about positioning anymore. Now, the second ability, which is the either or, right? He could spend 2 force at the beginning of the engagement phase to perform 1 action he has not already done. If you do, the remaining force can only be spent on defense. So I got 3 force. I fly up there. I haven't done a barrel roll. I spend 2 force, do a barrel roll. No longer can I spend my force on defense. So the idea is to give the player the option to do one of the 2. Personally, if it were me, I would agree with that. I also believe the subtext that should be there as well is that he can have access to both light and dark side upgrades.
Upgrades.
Yep. And I also believe they should add a purple target lock to his thing.
All right.
Those are
so basically an interceptor with target locks. That's interesting.
With purple target
All right,
locks.
I'm going to say it now. Not to poo-poo. That's a lot of writing, bro. That's a lot of writing.
You're right. You're right. It is. It is a lot of writing. I don't.
That will be the most confusing card in the thing. And then trying to remember, well, which one did you do with your force this turn, or was it last turn that you did the 2 force for the? I don't know. I mean, right. It's a cool idea though.
Probably too confusing. Now, so here's the deal. What we're more confusing than Zam. It's not more confusing than Zam. Zam is really confusing. Everybody hated Zam when Zam came out, but now everybody likes Zam.
It'll have to be one of those fold open cards so you can put the whole thing on there. So I mean, not more confusing, it's just more words.
Okay, but if you put just those 2 abilities, they would fit in there. If you and the target lock. If you didn't put the light or dark side things on there, you could still fit all that.
You could take the lighter dark side thing. That could be like just a setup thing where you wouldn't even need an actual like part of the card. It doesn't have to say it on the card. It could just be,
Yes. I think the other thing that, and again, I'm open to discussions, right? If this ever became a reality, I think the discussion of how many force he should have, right? How many force he should spend for the ability. I think that's open to discussion. You're right. Me telling you he should have 3 force. You spend 2 on defense. I mean, if I take an evade, spend 2, I get another force for defense. If I can't regen those force though, it doesn't matter as much, right? It's not the same. I also thought, what if we could create like a card to go with it that is a force modification slot, like a dual slot card. That would be a really cool idea too, to kind of try to say, hey, I'm going to give you something to make you a little bit more durable, but I'm going to have a downside to it, and maybe something that maybe it's like a requirement that says, you can have your 3 force or 2 force. You get this training card. If you complete this card, like kind of like we have with Agent Terex, you flip it and you get the 3rd force. I don't know. Again, now I'm just talking, how can we have fun type thing? We are going to create one of these cards. So here's the deal. If you are all excited by this and you want to submit your opinions, I will have a link.
Your options. Yeah.
Yeah. I will create this week. I'm creating I'm going to create I don't know. Do I do a poll? Maybe I'll do a poll or a Google poll or something like that. And
we could do a post on Facebook too. Would also work.
Yep.
That works.
I will let everybody know what we'll do, but we're going to do something where you guys are able to submit your answers to this. So maybe a Google form. That's what I'll do. I'm going to do a Google form because I think
we should at the end we should vote on it. We'll have an episode where we vote. Maybe while we're live next week, maybe we'll look into that. I don't know. What's the thought on that? That's something we could actually do live.
It won't be next week, but yes, we can do that in 2 weeks. So I will get a Google form together tonight, and I will get it out. So if you are not in our Discord, join our Discord right now. Head over to Discord. Join the Discord. That's
what are we giving? What are we giving the winner? What are we giving the winner?
So fine. So okay. So that's what we'll do. We'll gather everybody's things. We'll put them all in there. And then we'll let everybody vote. Whoever gets the winner, their card gets made. So I'm probably going to make my card too, just because I'm a dick.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I like my card. But anyway, but we will make whoever.
You mean your set of 4 cards, right?
My set of 7 cards. 7 cards. Damn it, man. 7 cards. No, I'm just going to get one of those bigger cards like FFG created, those quick build cards. That's just what it's going to be.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's why they created it. So you actually make this card.
People like me. Yeah. So like for the Tanners of the world. But yeah.
It would be interesting Aces High, though. Think about all those different Lukes, Aces High style. Oh, yeah.
Tarot card side.
Yeah. Tarot card size.
Okay.
There you go.
So I'm going to side tangent for just a second here. A second because most of us that are Star Wars fans probably like Marvel to some extent. Matt and I both play this card game called Marvel Champions. And yes, I know FFG, fuck FFG, blah, 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 blah. But we play this. It's a really fun game. It's insanely good. I love it. They have a hero called Ant-Man, and he has 3 forms. He has normal form, he has big ant form, and little ant form. And the card is F, and it does. It folds and becomes big, and you unfold it to become big. So there you go. So we can make that possible in X-Wing.
All right. Exactly.
All right.
I mean, it could be done. I mean, but it seems silly just to do it just for your one thing. But
you're right. You're right, man. But I just thought I'd give a quick.
I love that you're so into it, though. I mean, I think that it's a really cool idea. I mean, obviously, completely theory crafted. They better not actually have one real one, but I think it'd be fun, and I think it would also be fun to Aces High this with 4 people. Not gonna lie, using our special loot
cards. Hey, and I'll tell you what. Like, think about it this way, Matt. If we made this a regular segment and people actually want to check our show out more, we could do this once a month, and then like at the end of a quarter, release all the cards to anybody that subscribes to the channel or something like that, right?
And it wouldn't be a bad sub gift. Just saying. Yeah.
And we could actually hold a tournament where you can use the pre-created cards.
Sure. Cool.
We will have to run these through Dion first, though. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Dion has to give his sign off just to make sure that we don't break a rule.
What's going on?
There's no make rules. Sure Dion looks
all just fake and made up. Who would have to? Who has to give an okay on this?
No, he wouldn't have to give us an okay. I'd use him to make sure we don't have too broken cards, because I'm pretty sure that we could create a TTT mod or TTS mod that brings these cards in. I talked to somebody a couple weeks ago, Flipster. I talked to him a little bit, and he's actually explaining some of how to bring some of that type of stuff in. So these could be totally viable cards, like that we could actually use and play with, and we could hold a tournament, like just like a local tournament, not a local, like an online tournament for everybody. We could just like have fun on a Saturday or something like that. I don't know, or a Thursday. Who knows?
Well, and in person, you can always use a straight up just an actual postcard, right? Postcard with the ship, and I mean, you're not going to change the amount of things, so you just do a wherever you call it. You just do a stand-in. But yeah, sounds interesting. I love these thoughts, and I love this thought. So I'm hoping everybody else is as excited as me. I actually really enjoyed thinking of my ship and ability. So
yes, I'll tell you,
we all know mine's the best, even though it doesn't take 7 cards to write out.
Yeah, it's no fun because you don't got 7 cards. You gotta get 7 cards, man. Damn it.